Well. Here we are. Favour Ofili. Currently, at the time of this recording, she is the number one in the world. She has the world leading mark in the 200-meter dash. Now, you need to watch out for her. You really need to watch out. This was her at 16 years old at the World Championships. He had just set a new PR in her 400. First time going under 52, and she did it by over a second. Her PR was, at least from the previous year. And yeah, let's get to her. She was putting in work then, and she's still putting in work now. Before we get into today's topic, I'd like to thank our official sponsor, Trackstars NFT. Head over to trackstars.io. The mint is now live. It supports the channel. And we're trying to do the first 1,000. This was a request on our behalf, on the channel's behalf. The first 1,000 that are sold. So once it gets down to 2,700, there's going to be an additional raffle. And obviously the details are there on the Discord. Here's the Discord link right here. But definitely head over there, press this mint button. It's going to say, hey, you sign this in over here. And then go ahead and press that approve and grab one of those NFTs right there. And don't forget, as always, bless the like button, share, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. We're talking about all types of content all the time. Always stay rich. And remember, you're watching Head and Shoulders ATR, where we cover athletes, performances, and otherwise that are head and shoulders above the rest. See, Favour Ofili, she's got a lot of things going for her. Let's look at last year. Let's look at the ranking for last year. So last year in the 200-meter dash, if you take out the controversial athletes right now, and yes, they are allowed to compete for the time being, so they will be skewing the results, right? Even though World Athletics has put out some information saying, hey, banned in these other events, it really doesn't logically make any sense. But what they're trying to do is get enough data, and then they'll say, hey, we're going to ban these athletes after enough data is set. Essentially, that's what it seems like what they did with Semenya and whatnot. So, with that being said, if you take out the two controversial athletes, she would be the next fastest in the world last year at the 20 and under. And that's really what place she finished in. She finished in third in the 200-meter dash. And yeah, with a 22-23. Now, she seems to be able to peak pretty well. So some people are saying, hey, look, at LSU, she may not be able to hit her peak. It may not be able to hit the best times of the season. And it seems like, look, LSU, for if nothing else, is known for just pumping out those 100, 200-meter athletes. Interestingly enough, she never did run an open 100 last season. I looked it up. There's not a single record of it. She ran the 2 and the 4, and she's really dangerous in the 400-meter dash as well. She's ranked number 6 in the world last year. If you take out the two athletes, obviously, she would be bumped up to number 4. But in either case, okay, if this wants to act correctly, in either case, a 51.49. She did that in April of last year at LSU. So she hit a PR by about 2 or 3 tenths of a second, which is pretty good. So that's good. This year, it seems like she's now focusing on the 100. Let's go over here. Right now, here's the 200. 21.96. Obviously, many of us are looking at Abby Steiner saying, hey, if she didn't have this gale force wind against her, the negative 5.6, she may be number 1, but that doesn't matter. The current NCAA record holder, Nigerian national record, wiped away Blessing Okabare's national record. So that takes away some of that controversy with her. 21.96 with a positive 1.3 meter per second tailwind. So, what does this all add up to? Well, let me show you here. She wound up making the semifinal round here at Doha. Obviously, she did not run as well as she did right before that. But if you really think about it, at 16 years old, just to make it past the first round is crazy. And that means she had to run well above herself run a PR just to make it out of that first round that she made it out of, which really just tired her out. That's just how it is. I mean, you could look at Ta Lu when she went in the semifinals, ran a PR and looked around, and if she was gonna tire herself out for the finals, she may as well not looked around, went all the way through the line, and yeah. So here, 16 years old, making it to the semifinal round. This is another athlete to watch out for. So she's used to making it through. Let's look at some of the honors here. Obviously, like I said, at last year's U20 championships that were held in Nairobi, 22.23. Fantastic. Third place in the 4x1. But guess what? She also ran a 4x400 meter relay. They won first. Now, look at this. Look at what they're able to do with her talent at LSU. Look at what the coaches were able to do when she was a youth in Nigeria. They're able to take an athlete. She's able to be dangerous in the 100. Now she's got an 11 flat. And maybe you're wondering, what is this 11 flat ranker, right? What is the 11 flat ranker? Here's the correct one right here. She's number 1 in the world this year in the 200 so far. Obviously, it's going to heat up and get faster, and hopefully she can continue getting faster. But where's she ranked at right now at this same time? Well, it turns out she's tied for number 8 in the world right now. That's crazy. So she's able to be a good 100-meter athlete, a good 200-meter athlete, and a pretty good 400-meter athlete. Now, when it comes to USA standards and whatnot with some of those, obviously she's 19 years old. She's going to be standing out. I mean, Allison Felix would probably be proud of her looking at her like that. Allison Felix being a young woman that she was when she first came out of the scene, got a silver medal in the 200 when she first came out. She'd be looking at this like, wow, that's some good range right there. As you know, Allison Felix went down from the 100, 200, and 400 and was really good in the 2 and the 4. So the way I look at Favour Ofili, let's see which one does she really, what you got to look out for. LSU, they're good for putting out those 100, 200 meter athletes, but coming in with a pedigree already pretty good. Good enough to make it to the semifinal round at the World Championships at the age of 16. Because some people will look at this, and I already saw it in the comment section, say, well, she hasn't even broken 51 seconds yet. Give it some time. Not everybody's going to come up, and they're not all going to be like Sawa Eid Nasser, which is a former Nigerian herself, actually. But not everybody's going to be a Sawa Eid Nasser or a really big talent like that. Everybody has their talents, and Favour Ofili's got one huge heck of a talent, particularly in the 200. I think that her 200 right now is the strongest out of the 3. And when it comes down to it, her coaches are now focusing her on the speed side. The first year, she was working on the speed endurance side with the 400. Now it appears that they're operating on the speed side. She's running 11 flat. It's only a matter of time before they run her there. So I think at this point, maybe the focus. Now, somebody from LSU or on that team, a coach, if you want to reveal some of the secrets, go ahead right here. But I think they're trying to focus and hone in on her 200. And obviously, some of that 400 meter strength can then help her with that 200. The 100 meter speed can help her with the 200, and then she could score some valuable points on both the 4x1 and the 4x400 meter relay, assuming that they put together a team for both of those, particularly 4x4 for LSU, and then individually still score, if not win, in either the 1 or the 4. What do you guys think about that? I think that she's going to be one heck of a danger, and the way that the NCAA is scheduled, how you don't really get too much rest time. Imagine her going to the World Championships. She's going in Nigeria, and right now Nigeria is not as, the depth is not the same as USA or Jamaica in the 100. So she has an easier time making it through there. It's not the same depth as USA or Jamaica in the 200, right? And you could say Canada in some years too, but this not as strong in the 200, so she's got an easier aspect. And then in the 400, Jamaica is now starting to come up in the 400, but in the USA is very strong for the USA in the 400, even if we don't always get a USA champion. So she's got a pretty decent pathway to then run all of them, get to the world championships and say, I think I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. I'm going to do this. The one thing that I'm worried about, and this is just for this year, and then I'll say what the danger is in the future. Now, the one thing I'm worried about now is that on the aspect of maybe burning out a little bit. Now, I think based on last year, she doesn't have as much of an issue of burnout because last year she was hitting a PR at the end of the season. All right. And that was at the U20 championships. Now, you could argue and say, well, the U20 that she's facing against, hey, look, they're going to be, the talent isn't as good, so she got easier round. And to be fair, yeah, if she's running against all the pros and everything, then yeah. But she was able to compete there. Now, technically, Nigeria kind of robbed her with the federation of being able to compete at the Olympics, and that was unfortunate. Unfortunate for her and many other athletes. But we did get to see at least a sample of what she would have been able to produce at the Olympics at the U20 championships. Now, this is what we got to look going forward. Forget about Abby Steiner. Forget about other athletes right now. Look at her at 19. Look at this. She is 19 years old. Abby Steiner, older than her, right? You say, well, Abby Steiner running fast. If she keeps going on the track that she's on, even if Abby Steiner beats her at the NCAAs, even if Abby Steiner ultimately gets the collegiate record, well, Abby Steiner going to be gone. And here's Favour Ofili here right now. Being able to be at a school that specializes in those 100, 200 meter athletes, and they just pump them out. Look at Mona Lee. Pump them out, right? Well, in this case, y'all over there in Jamaica, y'all in the USA, all over the world better take notice of this young Nigerian woman right here, because this 200 something is telling me that's her strongest. I want to lean and say that she's a 200, 400 meter athlete, but she might be a good all-around athlete with a phenomenal strength in the 200. Because LSU, like I said, they pump out the 1 and the 2. She's already good with her speed endurance. We saw it in her youth. And she didn't get much of a PR. Look at her progression. She didn't get much of a PR at LSU. This is going in line with their pedigree right here. She went from a 51.52 to a 51.49. So she didn't really go like a breakout like this here. Obviously, that's a huge breakout from 53.51 all the way to 51.51. Same thing, 58 to 53. So obviously, it's going to be harder as you get faster and faster and faster. But I think this goes in line with LSU's real thing. They're strong in the 1 and the 2. So when she leaves LSU, she's going to have that strength there. The speed of the 100 that helps her through with this. Now, I just wonder what she's going to do. If she ever comes back up, she might be like a Sharika Jackson strength. Sharika Jackson can run a 100 and she can run a 400. She did it at the Olympics. She did the 4x1. She did the 4x4. Medal in both. She ran the 100. She spaced out in the 200. Allison Felix can run the ranges of 4x1, running in the open 2 or 4. Right? I think Favour Ofili is going to be another one of these athletes. And not only that, I think she has a chance of, in the future, winning the 200 meter dash. I'll say it right now. I think she has, in the future, a chance of winning the 200 meter dash. She just looks so strong there. That's where most of her power is coming from. And if she can get her speed down, remember Jenna Prandini or Gabby Thomas was trying to go and break 11 seconds last season. Remember, she was trying to go faster and faster. You got Favour Ofili already doing this at 19. Imagine what happens. Fingers crossed, being injury free. Looking at this, 21, 7 That's what I'll say now. 21.7, maybe even 21.6 in the next coming I would say 3 or 4 years. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section below what you guys think about Favour Ofili, because in all honesty, she might even start to be untouchable. The only thing is, and the only concern here is, what do they do with the athletes that are currently indicated as DSD? These are the biggest name athletes that are DSD, and don't get me wrong, I'm not here to pick on anybody. This is what World Athletics released in their press release. This is what the court documents were revealed about Caster Semenya. And there's one other thing that I like to point out when I bring up, and I've done it on my own YouTube channel in the community section. When I brought up non-black people, when I brought up white people that will also be considered as intersex or DSD, not a single peep. But as soon as you bring up this, it's an emotional tirade. That's how you know people aren't doing it logic. They want to beat up on the black people. They want to do that. There was not a peep, not a single. There was one person that made a comment. But when it comes to that, I noticed that. I don't particularly like it myself. So, no, I'm not beating up on anybody. That's you. That all you do is seek out those, play that you are attacked and everything. I'm an equal opportunity person that is looking here and saying, okay, this person, okay, here's something. Oh, this person that had that case from India, they have this thing. So if they allow the DSD athletes to continue competing, I'm almost going to say injury-free, nobody can beat them. But as far as taking them out of the scene, then you better watch out for Favour Ofili, because she's going to be one tough cookie to beat. Catch you all on the next one. You've been watching Head and Shoulders ATR. And like I said, don't forget to check out our sponsor. Family, we are trying to get all of these sold here. If we can do this, we're going to be running with that fan-based track and field league, potentially. And then we're definitely going to have, because it's an official sponsor here, we're definitely going to have those fan-based videos. So if you wanted to see a fan Ofili, we got to call her Fan Ofili so we don't use the name or whatever, probably. No, I don't want to get sued or nothing, but Fan Ofili versus a Fan Adi, right? And you know who I'm talking about. Fan Bolt versus Fan Green. So we got Maurice Green fan version of them versus Usain Bolt fan version of them. And then we have them running in the race and other people, other events, and we have those as that. If you want to see that, family, get this. We are pounding and beating the drum for this. And we're going to be doing this for the next month. Get this. If you get it within the next before the 24th, then definitely there's an additional raffle for you. Thank you guys for watching this video. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.